Will the individuals representing the Mill River Wetland Committee please join me at the podium? Congratulations. Hi, how are you? Congratulations, man. Congratulations. In Fairfield, Connecticut, the town, one town to the west, the Mill River Wetland Committee celebrates its 48th anniversary. It was formed in 1967 to strengthen local environmental science education and to expand the public's understanding and appreciation of the Mill River's many contributions to the environment and the town's quality of life. And for those of us who live in Fairfield, you know, the Mill River kind of bisects the town. It comes out of our Easton Lake Reservoir in Easton and goes all the way to Long Island Sound. The Mill River Wetland Committee runs an in-depth environmental educational program called River Lab, which meets state standards for science education, and it provides teacher manuals, in-class student materials, and hands-on study trips into both river and estuary environments for all Fairfield students in grades 3 to 6, which is 1/3 of the science curriculum in the school year. Equally impressive, Mill River Wetland Committee has trained more than 650 volunteers to lead those study trips. The volunteers, many of them parents of the students, must complete a substantive online training course developed by the Mill River Wetland Committee and then attend personalized outdoor training sessions. During 2014 alone, over 3,500 students, as well as their instructors, learned about the river watershed's contributions to wildlife habitat, groundwater replenishment, Earth's water cycle, and other topics. The instructors included high school students in advanced placement environmental science classes who served as adult guides for younger students. They're really getting everyone involved in the process. So, for its many accomplishments in teaching children and the public at large, about the river system and the need to understand, respect, and protect its many functions, Aquarion is very proud to name Fairfield's Mill River Wetland Committee the recipient of the 2015 Environmental Champion Award in the nonprofit category.
You're going to give it to Joy. Okay. Hello, I am Charlene Braun-Schindler. I am president of the board of the Mill River Wetland Committee. And we thank Aquarion so much for this award. It helps our students in Fairfield, all the children, and our community in the process of learning about watersheds. And thank you, John Herlihy, wherever you are, for presenting. To think that we would not be here today if it wasn't for our founder, Joy Shaw, who is standing right here next to me. 50 years ago, she stood in front of a bulldozer because down the street was an open space and the bulldozers were plowing down the trees in this open space. And can you imagine? I always still chuckle seeing her standing in front of the big bulldozer with those guys and just stopping the whole process. And it was her efforts, and she, with neighbors and friends, formed the Mill River Wetland Committee. And with that, they decided that education would be the focus of how we would go about to help our Fairfield community and residents learn about what the watershed is and how it affects our community. Our educational environmental program, River Lab program, sorry, I'm a little nervous, is unique not only because of our 6-week in-depth, hands-on, and inquiry-based program in the classroom experience. We also have each individual class go outdoors, and they also have their hands-on inquiry-based study trip out either at the river or the estuary, and they are in a group of 4 to 6 students per adult. which means we have a lot of adults out there. Another important aspect of our program is that it not just stops at 3rd grade, but each level builds on the year from before. So by the time they end their 6th grade, they know about what the different parts of the watershed, and peacocks maybe. And they know how the river works, what the different habitats, how different habitats are made, how the different animals and the plants are living in those different habitats. They learn how the water cycle fits in with the groundwater system. And they learn how the river and the watershed are productive. What are those productive areas? Are they the fast water area? Are they going to find plankton there? Or are they going to find it in that slow-moving, mucky, smelly area? So, and then by the time they finish 6th grade and on to 6th grade, they're learning that everything that happened upstream in our watershed affects that estuary, because that's where they end up. And we all know, well, not everybody knows, but 75% of our marine life spends part of their life cycle in the estuary. So it's a very important place. Mill River Wetland Committee is also helping our community. Not only do we teach the 3,500 students in the Fairfield Public School System, which has 11 elementary schools, 3 middle schools, and 2 parochial schools, we are also teaching the adults about the importance of the watershed through our volunteer program. Each year we do 3,500 students, and we have gotten up to having 650 volunteers each year come out, parent volunteers, and as you were told, how they have to go through a learning process also. And it's a wonderful opportunity for our town that we have this, that we can be teaching, as our students are teaching up in New Fairfield, what is very important to our communities. In 2002, we had our first student come back and be a parent guide for her children. And she's not the only one that came back, too. We've had quite a few guides come back and students come back and be parent guides. And just this year, one of them told me that the only thing she remembers about elementary science is the River Lab study trips. So I thought that was a great thing. We know that we don't have a complete knowledge of how our students that go through the program, what they are doing afterwards, but we do have a sense of what is happening. In both of our 2 high schools they have AP environmental courses, and they have 2 to 3 AP environmental courses between the 2 schools every year. One of our environmental AP teachers was a River Lab student, and his mother was one of our guides. And a few of our students we know have gone on to do environmental work in other organizations. I know of 3 guides that have gone on to also work in other environmental organizations in our town and outside our town. And one of them had become a member of our Conservation Commission. And you know what? It all started because Joy stood in front of that bulldozer. Thank you, Aquarion, for recognizing us.
Our next guest speaker is a great friend of the Beardsley Zoo, a great friend of Aquarion, and a great friend of the environment. Ladies and gentlemen, our great senator from Connecticut, Richard Blumenthal.
I'm particularly pleased to be here this year with 2 of my colleagues in public service. Michael Tetreault is doing a great job as first selectman of Fairfield, and my very, very good friend Jack Betkowski of the what's the name now of that? Anyway, he's a great consumer advocate and a friend of the environment. I want to just for 1 minute say how grateful I am to Aquarion. This environmental awards ceremony reflects the company's commitment to environmental values, and that commitment matters so much because it owns a lot of land, it controls a lot of resources, and it is committed at every level of its organization, in every practice, to the values and cause of environmental preservation. And I am, again, really honored and excited to be with you, and really proud of the great work that's happening here in Connecticut because of what you do. Margaret Mead said, you know this quote, I'm sure, as environmentalists, never doubt the ability of a small group of intelligent and motivated people to change the world. It's the only thing that ever has. We may be a small group, but we are changing the world. Thank you all.